to another video. So today I'm doing my longer ride, intensity low, volume high, 100 miles total, and that's from Solihull to the Cotswolds and back, which is near enough 100 miles. So I'll show you the route now, and I'll also show you the carbohydrate strategy, what I'm going to use in terms of solid food I'm actually going to eat, and also liquid form. And I'm going to experiment with that a little bit today to see how I feel and gauge that as we go. Right, so this is the route, and as you can see, it's 159.5k. So this is going to be 99 point something miles. So we'll have to find a little extra to add on at the end. But as you can see, the majority of this is pretty flat to start with, and I've just checked the weather, and the wind is actually heading south this morning, which is going to play in my favour for the way there to the Cotswolds. So I think it's about 6 or 7 miles an hour. I'll get a little bit of tailwind towards the Cotswolds, but then on the way back, obviously I'll be fighting against that, but again it goes sort of flat again. For this as well, there's two main hills, there's 2 points of attack. So the first climb that we've got, I've actually done this before and I fell off because I was absolutely blowing. So the first one is Saintbury Hill, and then you go down Fish Hill. That's quite nice if I remember. Yeah, you know what? That's pretty fast down here, if I remember rightly. So yeah, you go down Fish Hill, then you turn left on Broadway, and then you go up Snow Hill, which I haven't actually done Snow Hill before. Hit midway around here, which is going to be around Burton on Water, and then as I head back, then it's the push back. So the reality is I'm going to try and push hard for the first block up until the Cotswolds, tap through the Cotswolds just to go with the climb, and then on the back end fight against the wind, big push home, and that is pretty much the route. So route's locked in. I use at the minute my Garmin Fenix 6X on my watch, so I'm always looking at the GPS on my screen. So what I am going to treat myself to an actual GPS in front of me that I can look at, rather than having to look at my watch all the time. One, it's probably not safe, and also two, the screen's actually a lot smaller in comparison to a normal GPS. So I'm going to be treating myself to one of those, not sure when, but I'm saving up for it. That's pretty much the route. I'm going to go and get changed now, talk you through my carbs for the day, and get on the bike. So I'll see you shortly. I'm just going to take you through my carbohydrates for this ride, and I'm basing this on it's going to take between sort of 6 hours, 6.5 to 7 hours. Now that's at sort of 18 to 20 miles an hour on average. So that being the case, I've planned for 60 grams of carbs every hour for 6 hours. And that looks like this. We've got SIS Go electrolytes in 1 and 2, which is going to be 36 grams, 36 grams. These Trek bars, which I just picked up in Sainsbury's yesterday, are 30, I think they're about 30 each, 1, 2. In fact, I'll put it up here on the screen what this is. So we've got 30 and 30, and that's those 4. So we've got liquid bars, and then in here I've got 4 slices in each of malt loaf, 190, so that's 190 grams. And then these jelly beans are, for those 3, that's 120 grams. So we've got 120, 190, 30, 30, 36, 36. That is going to be the fuel that I use for the ride. That's weird. It's always at this point now where I need a piss. So annoying. What I'm wearing is the Rafa cargo bottoms, and these are really useful because they've got these pockets here on the side. One thing that I did is with these bars, some of them obviously got chocolate on. You don't put them on your leg because they sweat, it melts, and it's just shit to eat. So these are better in your pockets, just as a little tip, because obviously your legs are going to get warm. These are quite hard, these jelly beans, but if the warmer they are, the softer they are. It's quicker to chew, quicker to digest. Just a little tip. Got a little tripod if I want to do some filming. My malt loaf in there, which apparently you can buy smaller packs, but never mind. And the chocolate bars in there. That's there. That'll go on the bike. Let's go. Also, this is adding extra weight. So for autumn, winter training, the heavier that I am, the better. Because when it comes to the summertime, and you're not wearing what feels like a weighted vest, then in theory, I'll be flying. That's the theory anyway. Right, bike's ready. It's about to get en route. Let's go. Annoyingly, there's been a bit of a road closure, so I'm going to have to go about what looks like 2 or 3 miles out of my way to get back around it, which, to be fair, the route is 99 miles, so this will top it up to about 102. This isn't going well at all. Look at this. I need to go down there, back to the drawing board. Let's have another look. Here we go, number 1, Saintbury Hill, just at the beginning. Let's go. That genuinely almost killed me. I haven't been crying. It looks as though I have. But for some reason, my eyes just go extremely bloodshot. There's a hill towards Broadway that is absolutely dire. To say the least, I got about 3/4 up, stopped, had a little breather, had a drink, 30 seconds, minute, and because of the incline, got back on to push off, clipped in, and fell off. So I had to go down, clip in, then turn around and do the whole thing, not the whole thing, but about 100 yards of it again. But yeah, I'm happy with that. That was disgusting, but done now. I've just gone past Broadway, turn left, now I'm heading up Snow Hill. I can't show you really, but the views are tremendous, so good. Been saying it's Snow Hill the whole time, that's in Birmingham. By the looks of it, this is Snow's Hill. So apologies about that, it's Snow's Hill. But regardless, it's an absolute beast. So just got to the top of Snow's Hill. That wasn't anywhere near as steep on the gradient, but it was slower and longer. But I tell you what, look at the views. It's so worth it. Whew. So that's 2 climbs in the bag. That was Snow's Hill. The first one was Saintsbury, and now I'm just gonna take in this scenery. So the fueling for this has been going all right. I've had a bag of jelly babies, or a bag of jelly beans, I should say. One of those Trek bars, 4 pieces of malt loaf. Now I'm gonna go back down, have another 4 pieces of malt loaf now. That's about an hour later. And then I'll have the other bar in an hour, and then the jelly beans in another hour, and we'll see how that goes. So unfortunately I need to preserve battery on this phone in case I need to stop off for drink and food. So I'll see you guys back at home for post-session analysis. That ride was tough, to say the least, and it's now 3 days post-ride when I'm actually doing this analysis. And actually, on comparison to some rides that I've done in the past, I don't feel as leggy as I thought. Yesterday I actually did a strength session in the gym for legs. It was a lower body day. And I'm just going to take you through now the analysis of the ride and a couple of things which I found. So looking at this, to start with, my main focus of attack for this was to take advantage of the tailwind at 6 or 7 miles an hour, which was heading south, which played in my favour, and go really hard and aggressive. And as you can see from here, I actually managed to do that. There's a few times on this Garmin output that it lent into red to orange, which is faster, which is really, really good. Majority was green, which was okay. And then around Saintsbury, Snow's Hill and Broadway, this is where obviously I was going to go slower. And as you can see from this, it's in blue. And obviously I wanted to tap through the Cotswolds and just complete it, because the last time I did this back in April, as you saw from the video, I wasn't able to complete it. So I'm really, really chuffed with that, to be fair. A little bit faster on the back end, especially around Fish Hill. That was really quick. I think that was 40 miles an hour downhill, which is really good. And then on the way back, it was just a matter of holding tight and pushing through and pushing on, which upon reflection, looking at this, I'm actually really pleased with. There were a few times on slower, longer elevation, heading up, back, I actually slowed down, and that was due to fueling. So I went with 60 grams per hour for fueling this ride at 6 hours I planned for, and it was 5 hours 50. So I was pretty much bang on with that. But I did have to stop a couple of times, one for water, and I actually stopped off to top up on 2 Trek bars and 2 more pieces of malt loaf. I was using malt loaf at the time. So I did have to stop off for that. So fueling considerations I'd probably look at would be, rather than going 60 grams per hour of carbohydrates, I'd bump that up to potentially 80 to 100. And that's to facilitate the net weight of 100 kilos. Considering that that's my second attempt at this sort of run around the Cotswolds, that was really good to see. What you can see, the first time I did this on the 23rd of April, I actually completed this segment of Saintsbury, this part here, in 15:38. 5.8 mile an hour average, and this time that I've done it on the 10th of October, it was 12:07, 7.5 mile an hour average. So I'm really chuffed with that, considering that my net weight hasn't changed. I'm still 100 kilos when I did this, and I'm still 100 kilos now. So if I can capitalize and build on my strength, fitness and performance and power to drive up that hill, especially with around 40 miles pre-fatigued doing this, I am super, super chuffed with that. So that's really, really refreshing to see. So that was the Cotswold cycle. I'm really glad and chuffed with my progress since April doing this sort of ride. Last, I will be building this ride in, no doubt, again, heading into the winter time, which will be interesting. So potentially I'll be changing the strategy to take advantage of potentially attacking the climbs a little bit harder, or tackling the overall distance with the same intensity. But as I say, I'm happy with 18 miles an hour average for that particular ride, and I will be doing this, as I say, at some point again. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please hit like. If you want to see more of these videos around Project Muscle on Wheels, obviously do not forget to subscribe. That would be amazing. Any comments that you've got on this ride, or questions that you may have around training for cycling, then let me know in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in the next video.